I was diagnosed on April 29th, and the following Saturday, I said to my wife, Shanine, I said, I just need to do something to really kind of take control back of this situation and really flip the script here. 11 days after my diagnosis, I did my own self-supported Ironman in a 2-degree, freezing cold, high wind day, and I said, no, I don't care what it is outside, we gotta do this, it's showtime. So I went to the Paul Reynolds Community Center for the swim in the morning, 7 a.m. I was there when the place opened. So 3.9 kilometer swim, quickly drove home, changed my gear, got on the bike in the garage, 180.25 kilometer bike on the trainer, and then I just packed up and went out for a little run around the neighborhood for 42.2 kilometers for a marathon to end things up. It was a day I'll never forget. And my family and friends, they just showed up, and Damon stayed up way past his bedtime, and they were all there to welcome me in. My parents had a makeshift finish line that said, Michael, you are an Ironman. That's the day that I just decided I am going to run this show. I was fit, healthy, active. I was ready to rock and roll. All roads for me were leading to Mont Tremblant.
So many memories. Like, he was such an easy child. He never needed any help with his homework in school, but he still aced it every time. He got really good marks. He was just a delight, you know. Yeah, he was 8 months old here, look. Sweet.
I am the one and only of my mom and dad, Wayne and Marion. They're coming up on almost 40 years married, and what an example they've set for me. Their relentless, unshakable support and family-centered approach to everything is just, I mean, that's the foundation to build anything on.
He was a mother's dream of the son, really. I mean, he was always very ambitious, and he was self-driven. We hardly ever had to help him with his homework. He was so outgoing and positive and just a caring young fella.
I had a very mixed upbringing of doing all the arts and music of my mom's side and playing all the sports of my dad and his influences.
Every time we came down here, Michael was doing something, playing soccer or running.
Him and I would spend hours in the hallway beating the ball back and forth. When he got old enough, he started to play baseball, soccer, indoor and outdoor.
The poor fella couldn't even get in the door, and I just wanted to go play, I don't know, every sport imaginable until the sun was down. And then, you know, we come home and Mom would have supper ready, and she was a registered nurse herself for 38 years and retired when she became a grandmother.
I worked in obstetrics and women's health most of my life, and I'd like to think I inspired him. I'd like to think that, but I'm not sure.
I'm sure.
You're sure.
All right, well, it's February 3rd, 2022, and it's been an eventful week. We're down here in beautiful Kitty Vitty. You know, I saw my appointment with Dr. Orr this week and got some updates on where we are with this whole cancer journey. It's hard to say anything other than cautious optimism. And I say cautious because of the fact that by the same coin, I was told that this was almost definitely nothing to begin with, and all of a sudden it snowballed somehow into metastatic cancer. So we talked about the surgery, though far more tangly than expected, was a success. We talked about the radioactive treatment and how that was a success. Talked about how there's the scans that I've done show residual thyroid material still in my body, but there was no metastatic spread of the cancer detected to any other parts of my body. It's just one of these things that where there is still residual stuff showing up, you know, we got to stay on top of the blood work, we got to stay on top of the scans, and basically I'm in this weird limbo right now because I won't know where this is headed until we do some big scans in September. And we're gonna find out which direction this is going, so it's a lot to kind of take on mentally. One of the things that is most consistent with thyroid cancer is I am exhausted all the time. My body doesn't know what it's doing. It's just completely dysregulated, and that's to be expected. If there's one thing that's gotten me through all this, it's definitely family time and spending time with the wife and kids. And anyway, so this week we're getting off the grid and we're going on a family vacation.
I booked us all a trip, family vacation to Costa Rica, just to get out of here for a bit. We stayed at an Airbnb next to the beach and just beach shopped. We went to the hot springs and in the jungle, and it was a great time. Lots of quality time.
All right, checking in again. Here we are at the La Fortuna waterfall. Absolutely unbelievable. And I'm just so thankful to be here on this trip. This trip is the first time in 14 or 15 months that I've thought about something other than having cancer. I mean, it's not something that I necessarily walk around with every single minute of the day, but it absolutely consumes you. The mental side of this has been relentless. And so to get away and spend that time and just completely leave it that in itself was magical. We're heading back to the Jeep now and Playa Conchal. It seemed kind of fitting. On the day that I was diagnosed, here we are in the sky at the beach. It's kind of fitting. There's a lot of storm clouds, there's a lot of rain. There's also a lot of blue. I'm choosing to see the blue. I'm aware that the rest is there. I'm choosing to see the blue. I'm just so appreciative for Shanine for basically, the kick in the arse to do this. I'm so fixated on when's the next blood work, when's the next whatever, that it really has limited me in seeing beyond what's right in front of me. Having a beautiful second set of eyes on the situation, that was the kick in the butt I needed to make that happen, because I wouldn't have been able to put that together myself. Another of the million reasons I'm so lucky and thankful to have her in my corner.
You couldn't have met a better partner.
Shanine is fantastic with him, such a support. Going with all his appointments, and she's there 100%. She's there with him.
And it's so humbling to stand before you today and with so much pride call this woman my wife. Thank you.
I've said this a few times. I have a wonderful wife, a great family, a good circle of friends. I feel like I'm on an island sometimes with this. And I keep thinking, if I feel like this, what would someone feel like that doesn't have those supports in place?
So many yackers say this, it's so true. Like, I was so well surrounded and loved and supported, but still alone, man. Like, I didn't have any friends who had cancer.
Getting a life-threatening illness at the wrong time of life, with a huge responsibility to learn how to figure out how to navigate the medical system, often as the first time interacting with the medical system. It's isolating them from their peers when they should be with their peers. It's making them feel mortal and vulnerable when they should be feeling invincible. It's really clashing with all that is supposed to be happening in that time. And not that that's not true for younger or older adults. I just think the magnitude of the clash is heightened at this developmental period for so many reasons.
The YACC was started 22 years ago during my first diagnosis of cancer. I had acute leukemia at the age of 22, just 6 months out of university. There's 250,000 Canadians living with or beyond their diagnosis of cancer as a young adult. That's not an insignificant number. So our vision became pretty easily clarified. We're like, well, we gotta go be that resource.
It's research, it's clinical programming. It's a mission with a heart to try and achieve its goal any way it can at all levels.
One of the things through this journey that's happened already, earlier this year, I attended my first Young Adult Cancer Canada conference called Primetown. And, it was insightful, it was helpful, it was emotional, it was validating.
In our peak when we were pre-COVID running retreats and adventures and conferences, you know, we were buying all our sum of 300 flights a year to get survivors access to these programs. Because we know when they come into that community, it has a transformational experience.
Every single person that was at that conference hated being there. There wasn't one person that wanted to be there, but every single person that was there benefited from it and learned and listened and shared.
So right now there's 5,000 plus YACCers from coast to coast to coast who have tapped into our community as we've been continuing to grow it. YACC's Got Your Back is our commitment to them. That once you're in that community, you can use it and lean on it and dive into it as often and as long as you want. And we will literally have their back for as long as the road is ahead for them.
At the end of the day, man, you're not alone. There's other people that are going through this stuff. It'd be helpful no matter who you have or don't have in your life.
And I think that's an important message for a lot of people, is that you may not have all those supports to begin with, but there are supports out there, but you have to go seek them out. And by doing that, you can create a really therapeutic environment. Mike's done a really good job of creating that environment around himself.
I think most people find comfort in the ability to keep things normal if they can.
I got involved in triathlon after I got hit by a car at work, and I suffered a really bad brain injury, and long story short, that brought an end to my soccer career. At that time, the ENT that I saw said that one of the best things you can do for yourself is endurance exercise. You don't necessarily have to do an Ironman triathlon, but that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. And I just needed something to believe in, and I took it way too seriously. I learned how to swim. I bought my first bike since I was about 12, and I mean, I can run, and I figured it out. I have fallen in love with this sport. Having the opportunity to put my toes on the start line of the big dance again, I mean, I get chills talking about it. Sunday Pass was a great day. It was the 2022 St. John's Triathlon, first time they've been able to put the race off since 2019. To be able to get out there and, you know, do my thing felt awesome. Wife and Damon at the finish line, what else do you want? It was a great day. It was pretty emotional that morning, you know. There's a lot of stuff coming up, and this next month is going to be pretty heavy and pretty emotional. The 7th of next month, my next round of cancer treatment starts, and then my next cancer scans are on September 23rd. The next day is Shanine's birthday, and like, not to get ahead of myself, but man, oh man, I dream of giving Shanine the birthday gift of a husband cancer-free. I dream of it. I'm taking my meds, I'm going to my appointments, I'm doing my blood works, I'm proactive and staying on top of things. But I can't sit here and lie to you and tell you that I'm not nervous about it. Something like having a race this weekend to occupy some time and occupy my body and mind is a welcome distraction from everything else going on. I forgot my bike shoes and didn't realize it till I got there, and I loved it. Like, I made so many mistakes, and that's exactly what it was for me, because a good opportunity to shake the cobwebs off, make the errors here, so that in 2 weeks, we're ready to go. Cancer won't stop me, baby, let's go! We got the big dance coming up at Ironman Mont Tremblant. On race day, I'm going to be the one on the course, but I'm representing the team. For me, for Shanine, the kids, our families, and for the young adult cancer community. I'm going to show cancer that I'm in control, cancer will not stop me, and I am going to tackle Ironman Mont Tremblant next Sunday with all the love in my heart. And I'm going to take every one of you with me. Let's go.
This is the big day, the day it all starts.
Wheels up in an hour, let's go.
Really good memories.
All right, buddy.
I love you.
Good morning, everybody. August 21st, the day has come. Ironman Mont Tremblant. I got the shirt on today. It's a lot more than a race. Nice, beautiful morning walk with the gals. Morning, Nene. Morning, Darcy, baby.
And we're on the way to the start line. The Get You Active Challenge has been an incredible success. We've raised over $12,000 in support of Young Adult Cancer Canada. I just want to say thank you to everybody that supported this with conversations, messages, donations, time, energy, support. I felt every single bit of it, and I'm carrying every one of you with me. So from Team Dawe, thank you very much. I'm going to be racing from the heart today. Much love and respect from the Dawe family. Let's have a great, great, special day. Let's go! Well, it's a beautiful afternoon, sunny St. John's, Bannerman Park. And we are fresh home from Ironman Mont Tremblant, baby, we did it, let's go. Resilience is one of the most important things in this life. There's tough times, and you just gotta figure it out, and figure it out in your own way. And that's exactly what the day was. It was a celebration. I took stock of every single opportunity I could to realize how fortunate I was to be there, and all my reasons for being there. I also called Mr. Chris Andrews from Shanneyganock and I said, listen, I needed the splash of home. I need you to sing me the Ode to Newfoundland before the race, because that's what's gonna have me ready to go, ready for battle. He was all too happy to oblige. I wore a shirt that morning that said, "Not today, cancer," and I had mentally committed to, no matter what happened, nothing was stopping me that day. The wildest, most challenging, mentally, physically, emotionally, demanding day that I've ever put myself through. Half of it is what I signed up for, and half of it is because I crashed my bike 6 miles into a 112-mile bike ride. Something so foolish, preventable. I mean, I kind of made the joke too. It was a straight, flat stretch of road. A Newfoundlander's never seen that before, so maybe that's what it was. I was out of my element.
He flipped. He went over the handlebars into a ditch. We didn't know anything about it until we got a text from the paramedic with all his bandages.
And you know, I'm 45 minutes in the ambulance getting put back together. To my shock, everything's still working, nothing broken. To my even bigger shock, the bike tech comes. I got a flat tire, we fixed that, but the bike is good to go. Excuses suck, and I don't have one. I gotta keep going. Whole thing is one big finishing chute, all the way down to this finish line. And as soon as I got to there, I just put my arms up in the air and I just kept yelling, "We did it, we did it, we did it." And it was absolutely incredible. And Mr. Mike Riley sees me coming down. He's the official voice of Ironman. I'll never forget it because I watched the video 100 times. He says, "Michael Dawe will not let cancer define him. Cancer won't stop him, no, Michael." Michael, you are an Ironman. You don't really hear me say something like this very often, but I am so proud of this. I did everything that I ever could have dreamt of in challenging myself to this.
It was just pure exhilaration when he finished. You know, he was so excited to finish, and after all he'd been through, you know.
He's just had cancer and going through extensive therapy for something that controls your ability to move. And he decided to take on one of the biggest challenges for athletics you can in the world by doing an Ironman.
It was the culmination of so much perseverance, resilience, focus, love, and support. The kids don't get it yet. Damon keeps coming over to my knee. "Daddy, ouchie, are you okay?" I'm okay, buddy. I've never been better. I'm ready for the next round of treatments, and I'm very much hoping for the best, because that's all I can do right now. Hello, everybody. Michael again. Checking in on a beautiful day in St. John's. We're 2 days into this week's treatments, 2 thyroid injections done, and tomorrow we go radioactive. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't nervous about this. this whole thing has just been a build up to this week's treatments and the scans. And man, I'd be lying if I said my stress wasn't through the roof on this. But I'm seeing the right people, I'm doing the right things. It's just hard not being in any control of it right now. It's really hard not being able to do anything but wait and hope for the best. Cancer is a chapter in my life book. It's not the title page. We're gonna take this on head on. We're gonna deal with it. We're gonna do whatever we gotta do. Appointments, blood work, scans, medicine. Where do I sign? Whatever hoop it is, I'm gonna jump through it.
Every day is not going to be a bed of roses. You know, we're going to have our issues and our problems, not right?
I just try to have more good days than bad days, that's all. Life is awesome, and there's hard times, but you have to celebrate the beauty in it because there's just too much beauty around. It's a big day. Scan results are back. Me and Shanine are about to walk in and go get them. Fingers crossed. Let's go get the, let's find out what we're dealing with. Heart rate is about 7,000. Let's go. Let's figure out what's going on. Okay.
It's dusk as all the shadows fall. The sun is laid to rest. At night this city comes to life as the light dies in the west. Here we stand as some local band spins circles round the clock. Smoke so thick you need a lighthouse, so loud I can't hear myself talk. Someone whispered in my ear, it's not like it was before. I don't know what happened here, I guess we just got bored. The good old days, well I suppose I'm glad they're behind me now. The only thing worse than growing up is never quite learning how. Late at night when we toss and we turn, lay awake till dawn. We close our eyes as the sun comes up and we're gone, we're gone.